Hello everyone, my name is Tor and welcome back to Anthropology. All right, welcome to today's video. If this is your first time, welcome to my channel. On this channel, I talk about all things fashion related, commentary videos, reviews, unboxing, shopping vlogs, trying to be better with our money, and just general fashion related handbag topics. So if you're interested in stuff like that, please consider subscribing, like this video if it resonated with you, and comment anything that comes to your mind. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. So happy to have you here. And yeah, let's get into today's video. So today I'm going to be talking about designer dupes. I'm going to be focusing on handbags, but designer dupes sort of take many forms. So as with all my commentary videos, I will be breaking this down into a few different parts. The first part will be what is a dupe in relation to fashion, also examples of different dupes that exist, sort of dupes are multi-tiered, or I'll also be discussing the difference between a dupe and a fake or a counterfeit item, and then finally, what do I think of dupes? Do I support them? Do I want to get into them? And just generally, what do they do for fashion? So if you're interested, please keep watching. So the first part of this video, I want to talk about what is a dupe. So a dupe is essentially, if you look at the definition, dupe means to deceive or trick. So a dupe is basically any item that's heavily inspired by a designer item that from afar could look like that item, but up close it is fairly distinguishable in its own sort of right. It is clearly not that designer item. So I have an example here. This is the Lululemon sort of crossbody multi-pouch bag. Clearly, so just a disclaimer, I work for Lululemon. All these opinions are my own. I won't be talking about the quality of this bag, although if that's something that people want, definitely let me know. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to be comparing the style. So this bag is clearly inspired by the Prada reissue bag. It has the pouch here. It has the same sort of shape, but also it looks like this bag. You can see the shapes are fairly similar, but this one I would classify as a dupe. It looks from afar, you know, very similar. It's in a similar nylon material. It has a pouch, and this one retails for around 88 Canadian. The Prada re-edition one, I believe that one retails for well over 2,000 now at this point. So I would classify this one as a dupe, mostly because it looks similar, it's heavily inspired by, but it is clearly its own item within and of itself. It is clearly a Lululemon item. It is clearly not a counterfeit Prada item, but the inspiration is there, and from afar, people may assume that it is the original item, it is the original inspired item, when it is in fact sort of different. So one thing about dupes as well is that normally they are less than the original inspired item, and they are not completely unique in and of themselves. So dupes don't necessarily have to be completely sort of inexpensive, really cheap. Dupes exist in a variety of different categories, from sort of high street through to mid-tier luxury. Rarely do they exist at sort of the top end of things. So I have my Mimi bag here. Looks like this. Fairly cute shape. If you've been on the channel before, you've definitely seen it. But I was on Essence recently and I saw this bag from APC, I believe. APC, it's called the Grace bag, I believe. Looks very similar to this, but it comes at around 800 Canadian, whereas this one was 30, well now it retails for 35.50 Canadian after tax. It's basically almost 4K. So the price range is very different, but you could get the look for less. So the concept of the look for less is basically synonymous with dupes. It's getting the look that the designer houses can give you, but on a budget, getting something that looks like it but is not quite like it. So my friend actually sent me two things recently. One was this bag by Guess, looks very similar to the Prada re-edition. Another one was this card holder. I can't remember the brand, but it looks like YSL. So what makes a dupe compared to a counterfeit is that the items are heavily inspired by, so they could be basically down to the logo, look almost exactly the same, like this Guess one. Guess heavily copies Prada, in my opinion. A lot of their bags, a lot of their stuff, like it looks like it's Prada when it's not. And also Michael Kors does a lot of duping with the monogram that they have, sort of the dark brown with the lighter brown, or the white with the light beige. It really could be LV monogram, but just their take. Junie and Burke does the same thing. So they're trying to give that same look but they're trying to give it at a budget. They're trying to reach a different consumer. There's a lot of different brands that dupe other items. Basically, you can look at it all throughout the fashion chain. Some of the main ones that I've noticed are TopShop. They're big on duping. H&M, Zara, Guess. And then also on the fast fashion side of things, there's like FashionNova, Shein, AliExpress. AliExpress is a little bit different because they're more of like a wholesaler or like a vendor for other brands or for other sellers, but you can find a lot of dupes on there. In terms of a dupe versus a fake, so a counterfeit, obviously that item is going to have the same logo. So essentially it all comes down to the branding in relation to a dupe versus a fake. So a dupe, it can basically look exactly the same, but it will not say the brand on it. A fake, it'll look exactly the same and they will put a fake brand on it. So it'll say like fake LV, fake Prada. Counterfeits sort of speak for themselves. They look exactly the same. Normally they're like a one-to-one if you get a really like super fake, whereas a dupe is not trying to be the item, is just trying to look like the item. So my opinions on dupes and sort of how they sit in with the fashion industry, I don't have a problem with dupes at all. Obviously everyone should get the look that they want for whatever price point they shop within. I do have a problem with fakes. Fakes, you know, they fund a variety of different bad things like organized crime, gang activity, human trafficking. You know, there's a lot of good items out there. You don't need to buy a fake of an item, but I think a dupe will give you that look, but also more or less they're from authorized retailers. So like this bag is beautiful. I love this bag. I think it's very well made. I think the price point is great. And if anything, I prefer it to the Prada re-edition. It has a pocket in the front, it has a pocket in the back, it has this thing which is like nice, and the price point is amazing. Whereas if you go to Prada, you'll get more or less the exact same look. Sure, they were the original, but just because it's the original doesn't mean it's the best. Sometimes brands will iterate on other items, on other brands, just to add their own flair, just to make it sort of better. And if Lululemon can make this bag for $88, why is Prada charging their markup? Sure, the brands are made in different factories, the brands have different aesthetics, but still, it's the same look, more or less, for, I don't know, maybe 10% of the price, at that, maybe 5% even. So it's a lot of food for thought. Let me know what you think of dupes. Let me know if you have any dupes, if you prefer a dupe over a regular item. This video is kind of rambly, I know, but I'm just very curious about dupes. I've been moving a bit away from sort of high luxury and more into accessible everyday sort of wear. And I'm noticing that I can get the look that I want, but I don't have to pay the extortionate price tag, but I can also get it from a brand that I trust. So it's like, what do you think of dupes? Do you also want me to talk about counterfeits or fakes at all? Let me know as well. And yeah, I hope to see you all next time. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, have a great rest of your day. Bye guys.